and gentlemen, to all of our distinguished guests, valued speakers, partners, and of course, members of the media, thank you very, very much for joining us today for Life Built for Tomorrow. Good afternoon, everyone. Please do indulge in your salad as it's already been served. My name is Isa Litton, and the honor is all mine to be your host for today as we celebrate the next major step in ARTHALAND's commitment to climate action and sustainable development. Indeed, every achievement is a promise kept. ARTHALAND is Asia's first real estate signatory to the Net Zero Carbon Buildings Commitment and a pioneer in the SCAP Sustainable Business Network. That deserves a round of applause, please. And that just shows ARTHALAND's focus has always been about delivering tangible and impactful solutions for a truly resilient future. So today, we now move beyond commitment, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to unveil a pioneering solution rooted in both nature and innovation. And so to begin, we will be hearing from a leader whose vision and commitment has helped guide ARTHALAND in its journey of excellence and also is a champion of our mission and the driving force behind a long-term vision. Here's one of the company's most respected directors to deliver the welcome address. We have Mr. Christopher T. Paul. Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed guests, Honorable Congressman Alba, 1st District, Representative of Bukidnon. All the way from Bangkok, Ms. Marta Perez Puzo, Chief of Innovation, Enterprise and Investment Trade at the United Nations SCAP. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Dr. Rico Sibangon, Director at the Department of Science and Technology, Forest Products Research and Development Institute. Attorney Ray Cabigting, Assistant Director of the DNR at the DNR Forest Management Bureau. Thanks for joining us. And Ms. Maria Sofia Narag, Region 2 Director at the Department of Trade and Industry. Thanks for joining us. And to our collaborators, partners, and friends who made today possible, thank you for being here. It is my honor and pleasure, on behalf of ARTHALAND, to welcome you to the launch of Project BEAM. The bamboo, we're calling it Project BEAM. It's the bamboo for ecological architecture and materials, BEAM, no? The Philippines' first commercial-scale bamboo structure. Congratulations. Today marks a milestone for Philippine real estate, and we are proud that ARTHALAND continues to blaze the trail. Project BEAM shows that building with nature-based solutions is not only possible, it is impactful. It supports circular construction, generates rural livelihoods, and creates more inclusive economic growth. For ARTHALAND, sustainability is not a side program. It is who we are, and it is a long-term investment in the future. Early on, we set a clear goal. All our projects will achieve net zero operational emissions by 2030. We signed the World Green Building Council's Net Zero Carbon Buildings Commitment, becoming the first Asian developer to make such an ambitious pledge. By the end of 2024, we had already avoided 89% of our greenhouse gas emissions. This was driven by a portfolio designed to the highest standards, operating 48% better than conventional buildings, and by shifting 89% of our energy use to renewable sources. We strengthened this further by aligning with the SBTI, the Science-Based Targets Initiative, ensuring that our entire value chain contributes to reducing carbon emissions, from materials to logistics to tenant activities. More recently, ARTHALAND was named the Philippine partner of the United Nations SCAP, Sustainable Business Network. Our Vice Chair and President, Mr. Jaime C. Gonzalez, now serves on its Executive Council, a first for Philippine real estate. Giving our country a voice in shaping sustainability priorities across Asia and the Pacific. Project BEAM represents a new chapter for us, an innovative move towards circular construction using nature-based, homegrown solutions. It grounds our long-term vision in bamboo, a material that embodies strength, flexibility, and renewal. Through this initiative, we aim to reduce embodied carbon and uplift local industries, creating meaningful livelihood opportunities in rural communities. We are grateful to have such an esteemed audience here today. Thank you for joining us. Your presence is intentional. Each of you plays a vital role in shaping the future of the bamboo industry. Government agencies such as the DNR, DOST, and DTI to provide the enabling policies and national direction. Universities and research institutions advance the science and drive bamboo innovation, improving scalability and strengthening the technologies needed for wider adoption. Professional organizations, including the United Architects of the Philippines, to ensure that innovation is built on sound standards and technical excellence. The private sector, we expand investments in bamboo, construction, and technology. And of course, the media, which helps bring awareness, visibility, and advocacy to the movement. Today is a celebration. It is also an invitation. We invite you, our partners, to join us in this continuing dialogue. Mainstreaming bamboo as a construction material requires collaboration in policy, research, investment, and innovation. If there's one lesson in ARTHALAND's journey, it is this: doing good and doing well are not opposing goals. They are the foundation of lasting value. As we continue this journey, I extend my gratitude to our corporate partners, strategic partners, consultants, and collaborators who help bring this vision to life. Now, please join me in welcoming our visionary Vice Chair and President, Mr. Jaime C. Gonzalez, who will share the philosophy and the vision of the future that guide our work. Thank you for building sustainable legacies with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to the launch of Project BEAM, the Philippines' first commercial-scale bamboo structure. This project reflects the evolution of our commitment. It's about moving past operations and efficiency to rethink the very materials that define the built environment. All over the world, we are feeling the effects of climate change. Here in the Philippines, that means record-breaking temperatures and disruptions. Last year alone, schools lost nearly a quarter of teaching days to extreme weather disruptions simply because it was too hot. And when it was in the heat, it was the severe rain and flooding, impacting not only just communities, but the backbone of our economy, agriculture. The government has set a bold target of 75% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, as outlined in the National Determined Contribution Program. Achieving this safeguards the lives, livelihoods, and future prosperity of every Filipino. But here is the critical insight. The built environment is responsible for nearly 40% of global emissions. This puts our industry in a strategic position. At ARTHALAND, we have successfully laid the foundation here. We have maximized energy and water efficiency in our operations. We have pioneered the transition to renewable energy and net zero buildings. What's next? It lies in the materials that define the built industry. Think about it. Cement and steel. Essential now, yes, but they are highly carbon intensive. As urbanization accelerates, the demand for these materials continues to grow. So we took this as a challenge. We envision a future where developers actively create positive environmental and social benefits, moving beyond mere mitigation of negative impact. We strive to sequester carbon by bringing nature-based solutions into buildings to reduce emissions. This is where bamboo has potential. The Philippines has the land, the climate, and the expertise to cultivate bamboo. Integrating bamboo into mainstream construction enables us to reduce embodied carbon while creating a steady demand for local production, processing, and manufacturing. The approach links urban development with regional growth. An efficient, self-reinforcing system built on local capabilities and circular value. Every ton of engineered bamboo represents stored carbon, livelihoods generated, and enterprise growth in rural communities. We have seen the potential of cross-laminated bamboo. As a rapidly renewable, bio-based material, it can absorb carbon. As an engineered wood, it can be used as column and beams, potentially supporting high-rise structures. Imagine bamboo in high-rise offices, residential towers, hospitals, and hotels in every type of development. Imagine how much carbon can be sequestered and how much rural communities it can uplift. Here, government leadership is crucial in establishing the standards and frameworks that foster innovation. Our universities and research institutions also have a pivotal role in developing the science, testing protocols, and skilled professionals that will anchor this emerging field. And with the support of our development partners, we can accelerate research, financing, and market access to bring bamboo construction into mainstream. With the launch of Project BEAM, our company demonstrates the Philippines' potential to develop a thriving bamboo construction industry. This initiative aligns with the country's national determined contribution and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. On behalf of ARTHALAND, I invite all of you, representatives from government, academia, and the development community, to join us in advancing this shared vision. Together, let us create a life built for tomorrow. Thank you, and I look forward to what we can achieve together.
Ladies and gentlemen, ARTHALAND's Vice Chairman and President, Mr. Jaime C. Gonzalez. And thank you as well to Mr. Po for welcoming us all today. And so to start, ladies and gentlemen, after all, as Mr. Po said, it's not just a celebration. Today is an invitation. So to begin, on the scale of a national government perspective, When it comes to aligning policy with resilience and circularity, we are honored to have with us from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Assistant Director of the Forest Management Bureau of the Philippines. Since joining the civil service in 2013, he has served as a key member of the Philippine delegation to major international forestry and climate conferences, including the International Tropical Timber Council, where he currently chairs the Committee on Economics and Marketing and the Committee on Forest Resource Industries. He's also gone to the United Nations Forum on Forests, the World Forestry Congress, the UNFCCC Convention on Biodiversity Conference of the Parties. He also represents the Secretary of Environment and Natural Resources on the Board of Trustees of the Forest Foundation Philippines, where DENR serves as Vice Chair. In addition, he listed in the UNFCCC roster of experts supporting technical reviews of climate reports. Within the Philippines, he serves as the official representative of the Forest Management Bureau to the Presidential Mining Industry Environment Awards National Executive Committee. He acts as the vice chairperson of the Mining Forest Program. Holding a bachelor's degree in forestry from the University of the Philippines and a Juris Doctor, this grounds his leadership in both environmental science and legal expertise. We give you Attorney Ray Thomas Fernandez Kabigting. Good afternoon, Attorney.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we need to shorten that, Enza. It's yeah. But thank you so much for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tom Kabigting from the Forest Management Bureau, and I'm here to represent the Secretary, Popo Lotilia, in sharing this keynote speech for a very momentous occasion that is quite close to my heart because before being the Assistant Director of the Forest Management Bureau, I was the Chief of the Forest Investments Development Division of the Bureau, wherein I was able to lead some innovations on forest investment and how we can actually work together rather than against investors and the business sector in terms of forest management. So first off, of course, I'd like to acknowledge and greet our good congressman from the 1st District of Bukidnon, Congressman Jose Manuel Alba, sir. Good afternoon po. Of course, to Mr. Jaime Gonzalez, the President of ARTHALAND, and of course, Chris, thank you for inviting us. To the Director of the Forest Products Research and Development Institute, Dr. Rico Cabangyon, magandang hapon po, sir. To Ms. Yvette Tan of Manila Bulletin, and to all our colleagues from the academe, from the private sector, and from the international organizations. I see some familiar faces here. Good afternoon. And on behalf of the Secretary Rafael PM Lotilia, I would like to extend my utmost gratitude and congratulations to ARTHALAND for the launch of the Project BEAM, or the Bamboo for Ecological Architecture and Materials. I'd just like to point out at this stage that in the Philippines, if you look at our history on forest utilization and forest products utilization, using bamboo is not alien to us. Actually, in our mythology, the first people in the islands came from bamboo. Si Malakas and si Maganda, di ba? So that's how most of our indigenous musical instruments are made of bamboo. We cook rice in bamboo. It means that's how important bamboo is to our culture. If rice is involved, it means it is inherent. Most of our building materials, and indeed our houses, are built in bamboo, the bahay kubo. So when you go to the communities and try to present to them a portfolio of reforestation species, they would almost always lean towards bamboo. Because number one, you don't need the tree cutting permit. Number two, it's very easy to harvest. You wouldn't need a chainsaw for that one. Third one is it's readily understandable in their local markets. They know how to make use of it, they know how to sell it, and they know how to make money out of it. It's just that for the longest time, the Forest Management Bureau has always designed its reforestation program heavily focused on timber. On timber, that if you're going to introduce community forestry, these communities must be planting timber. The problem with timber is, before you actually make money out of your, lalo na ngayon, ang ina-advocate pa are the indigenous and the endemic. As much as we want to make a business out of this indigenous and endemic, it'll take you 20 years before you can harvest your first batch of timber. And if you're looking at construction and you have targets and quotas to meet, waiting for that timber to grow into a marketable, I hope my professor is here. I hope what I'm saying is correct. Before you are able to use that tree that you planted into timber for your building material, dami mo nang na miss out na opportunities. Second point is that because it's very long to wait for timber to grow, which takes you 20, even mahogany and the exotic species, you would have 8 years to 10 years to wait. Bago siya. That's also long. Mag-illegal logging na lang. Just cut from naturally growing and then get those, and then that's what you sell in the market. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that for small-scale farmers, if you want to help forest-dependent communities have meaningful forest investments on the ground, we need to be able to convince not only the communities, they don't need convincing anymore. They love bamboo, they want to use it. We need to convince the local government units, we need to convince the business sector, we need to convince national government that if we want to keep the natural forest standing, and we want to avoid poaching and illegal logging, especially on a commercial scale, let us reinvigorate the use of non-timber forest products such as bamboo, which has been proven to be a good building material, not anymore an alternative to wood. But when you look at the cost, when you look at the expense, and when you look at the returns, it's actually more profitable to use this in a political climate where the country is leaning more towards protecting its standing forest and reforesting its areas with indigenous timber and keeping it standing. Now, as part of the innovations and as part of the systems that we put in place in the Forest Management Bureau, and I was discussing this earlier with Chris, we've already identified close to 1.1 million hectares of potential investment areas all throughout the Philippines. What we did here was we identified areas that are not yet covered with any tenure instrument, meaning it's still open for investors to come in and put in your investments. It's accessible. There are presence of communities which we cannot avoid in the Philippines. Every square inch here in the Philippines is covered by communities. But instead of avoiding and working against them, we can actually work with them because these are forest ecosystems wherein they have the better perspective and they have the better understanding on how things work in their area. And then what they need are infusion of capital so that we can work together with them. And fourth point on the potential investment areas is that we have a visibility of these areas at the central office, at the regional office, and at the CENRO, at the community level. So if you go to the FMB, you will see these available areas, and then when you go to the province or to the community office, you will see the same set of areas because we have a system that we put in place already, wherein there wouldn't be variance in how your CENRO will answer you, how your PENRO will answer, and how the national office will answer. What I'm trying to say is that we've already identified these areas, and if we can come up with a set of parameters that we need to identify and to consider in terms of coming up with a, what does a good bamboo plantation site look like? What is the elevation? What's the soil type? What's the climatic type? How large is the smallest one to make it profitable? And how large is the biggest one if you want to keep it at scale? These are the things that we need to find out and we need to work on together so that among the 1 million, we can already pre-identify the potential investment areas for bamboo. And remember that when you plant bamboo, you can interplant it or intercrop it with other species as well. Timber or otherwise. You have coffee there and cacao. So it's not a closed model. So those are the things that we need to work on together. My second point is that in terms of liberalization, as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that we need to regulate now in terms of bamboo is the verification that it came from your private property or it came from a tenured area. But there will come a time when we can already monitor the movement of forest products, both timber and non-timber forest products. It's like using RFID already because the problem now is everything's manual, everything's analog. You need to tell me that you got these bamboo from your area. So where are your proof that you got it from there? And let me see it before I let you pass. But imagine if you're coming from Bukidnon and then you're using the port in Cagayan de Oro, how many checkpoints will you pass by? And all of those checkpoints, you need to show the same set of documents. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to streamline that process. We're in the forest products monitoring is already digital, is already pre-qualified, so that this is where your certification comes in as well, so that we don't need to stop you from every checkpoint from point A to point B. Why is there a need for the DNR to see whether we are harvesting legally sourced bamboo? Because it helps also the premium of the company that uses legally sourced bamboo. It's correct that bamboo is not a tree; it's a grass, and that is something that we are fully aware of. However, because of our stringent political framework, legal framework right now, the most that we can liberalize forest products, including non-timber forest products, is to stop at the point of harvesting. But the transport, we need to find out how. But I'm very hopeful that that especially with what's happening right now, wherein we are losing a lot of natural resources without actually gaining any economic benefits from it. I think we can properly lobby right now for a review of the legal framework, such as the Revised Forestry Code of the Philippines and others, to incorporate these new systems and technologies that we have, so that there would come a time that the physical permit will no longer be needed, because everything now can be monitored and actually be measured and overseen by the national government from a remote sensing point of view. My last point on this one is that there's a good system right now for the Philippine bamboo industry policy making efforts. There is a Philippine Bamboo Industry Development Council that is being overseen right now by the Department of Trade and Industry, wherein the DNR, specifically the Forest Management Bureau, is a member. In that development council, we're focused on looking at things in terms of the destination of the bamboo supply. Where are the manufacturers? How can we improve manufacturing of bamboo here in the Philippines? How can we improve the output so that it would be export ready and that we can trade outside? But I was conversing earlier. I think we also need to focus on and I'd just like to sound off on what Jaime said earlier, like, the Philippines has the land, the Philippines has the climate to grow bamboo. But where should we plant? And where are these areas to be planted by bamboo? I think we should also focus on having a secure, quality, and sustainable supply, so that we can meet not only these types of initiatives, but also other uses, other business uses for bamboo. And this is something that we are very open to be discussing with the private sector and with other government agencies, because we really want a supply chain for bamboo that is transparent, that is clear. You know who are involved in this certain aspect of that supply chain. It's end-to-end. It's from propagule to selling and to the finished product. And we need not only a holistic approach to bamboo industry in the Philippines, but also a whole of society, because the government, especially the executive department, cannot do it alone. We need support from Congress. We need support from the private sector. We need support from academe in order for us to improve this industry that we have. I'd like to say it's been going slow for some time now, but with the help of businesses such as Rhizome, I'm sure we can improve the state of the Philippine bamboo industry. And trust me when I say that we have it. We have the capacity to grow bamboo at scale. We have the capacity to harvest and to manufacture. We may just need to tweak some of the institutional barriers that are found, not only within government, but also with the local governments and with how the private sector does its business. So maybe my final words would be thank you for thinking of the DNR and inviting the DNR to this very crucial event. And we are more than happy. My office is very open to anyone who wants to come in and collaborate with us in this type of venture. This is very helpful for us because as you followed the budget hearings recently, we're not looking so good when it comes to budget allocation. So we need all the help that we can get, especially from the private sector and international partners. So once again, good afternoon on behalf of Secretary Popo Lotilla. Maraming pong salamat.
Thank you very much as well, Attorney Kabigting, highlighting that our policy-making efforts, availability, opportunity are all in place, but it is still a work in progress. In fact, you can hear from his speech, it's very well thought out. He can see the future as well, but it needs help. So let's get those questions that he posed, be it how big, where, how much to make a profit. Let's get those questions answered and make this truly a supply chain that's very transparent and something that will work for everyone involved. Once again, a round of applause, please, for Attorney Kabigting. Now, with that laid out, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the launch of Project Beam. Everybody excited? This is why we're here. And to tell us more about this landmark initiative, this is the Philippines' first commercial-scale bamboo structure. We give you ARTHALAND's Chief Sustainability Officer, Mr. Oliver L. Chan.
So, First of all, advance apologies to the team who wrote the script, no? Kasi I normally go off script. So,
They were expecting that.
yeah, they were expecting, so sorry, number one. Okay, but today is the unveiling of Project Beam. And when we talk about unveiling, it's always about showing you one thing, what the company is going to do. But for ARTHALAND, this is something else. For us, it is about putting heads together, putting people together to make something happen. That is the main goal of today's event. It's not just about showing you what ARTHALAND can do. It's what we can start and what we can do moving forward together. So I hope everyone after this event get together, talk about it. Let's see how we can make this bigger and let's see how we can make this work even faster. Now we are putting Project Beam in our 8-hectare development in Laguna called Savina. Right? And it's a retail complex. And when we were thinking about it, you know when slowly things just come into place and you know that it's going to happen even though it's really hard. When we talk to our business dev people, they say, you can't just put that there without anyone renting it, right? You're going to spend a lot of money building something with pure bamboo. And then who's going to go in there? And then with the help with our friends, well, CBRE, ma'am is not here, but, oh, hello. Ma'am, with the help of her husband, who's the president of MaxiCare, it was just one sit-down lunch, and we shook hands after, and it was done. I don't know if this is right, but it was an alignment of ideas wanting to put health and sustainability together. We didn't even talk numbers during that lunch. No? I think the numbers lang there was what time Ma'am will arrive for lunch. but I think the most important thing is we were just aligned into sustainability, which involves healthcare and, okay, we're talking about real estate. How do we actually make it sustainable? That's very important. And the first phase will be about 600 square meters of a medical facility of MaxiCare that will not only, I would say, help our unit owners, our land tenants and everything, but also the community around it. Now, extending this, I would say, faith that happens from time to time, we were in the Net Zero Carbon Alliance Forum, and this is where I met the Honorable Congressman Alba. And when I say falling into place, I was expecting him to tell me, please talk to my secretary, schedule a meeting, here's the card of my secretary. Pass me on to someone else. I was very surprised when he just came and said, here's my number, contact me, let's talk about what we can do together. That's when you see that, okay, there's a lot of people here with the same mindset, and the main purpose and the main goal is just push this forward. And then, moving forward after MaxiCare, I sat down and met this very intriguing person. I'm not sure if he's here, Mr. Yuson, of CWC. It was one sit down, and then we already discussed and talked about moving forward. He has sustainable furniture in his showroom. He knows how to fit out properly. Okay, let's work on and how to put sustainable fit out in most of your projects. So a lot of things just fell into place. And Project Beam demonstrates that we can build, may binabasa ako kay konti, that we can build modern, high-performing infrastructure with renewable and our role in UN ESBN, circular and low-carbon materials harvested by our own locally sourced communities. And all of that just started with meeting with a few people by accident, and it's by faith. Now, like every ARTHALAND development, this clinic is designed to achieve at least 20% reduction in energy and water consumption. That is our commitment across all of our developments. Now, this one goes beyond that, right? Now, the reason why it goes beyond it is because everything which Mr. Gonzalez mentioned earlier putting in global standards, and constructing this quality, sustainable building, all made out of bamboo. And with all the benefits mentioned earlier, wherein it not just actually reduces the impact of cement and steel, but also absorbs carbon, we are now actually going into where it is negative carbon emission. And before people are talking about how impossible it is to have a net zero carbon building. In ARTHALAND, we were the first to have it in ARTHALAND Century Pacific Tower, the first in the world. And now with this, why not go to the negative level? At first, you would always say, this is impossible. But there's always that first step, right? And rather than being locked up in a single form or manner of how you do the structure, of how you design it, from the very beginning, from its assembly, now you can actually also disassemble it, right? And it proves circularity, right? And then next you can reuse it. Okay, so now, locking all these elements and mechanisms together, we can say that this project actually works. And when we say it works, this is just the first step, just the proof of concept of what it can do. And now, instead of adding about 25,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide around us, we are now taking away and absorbing about 24,000 kilograms. So it's completely the other way around now. And with that, I would say na after this, please stay, not because we're gonna have a party. It's because I would want all of us to talk to each other, see how we can collaborate better, make this happen, make this bigger, and help all the institutions here push this forward. Without demand, nothing's gonna happen. And see, Russell will just somehow give us a cheaper price. No, I think we need help to be able to make this more commercially available. We need help so that the market will accept this as something that may be, I would say, acceptable if there's an earthquake. Everyone is so afraid of earthquakes these days, all the disasters that's happening. But it's about market acceptability. And it will only happen if all of us work together. Now, move that aside. Okay, so now with all of us working together, I would like to present to you, okay, ready? Project Beam. Thank you very much, everyone.
Indeed, let's give that a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Oliver Chan as well, ARTHALAND's Chief Sustainability Officer, for taking us through the many, many possibilities ahead. Project BEAM, bamboo for ecological, architectural, and materials. That's a lot to mull over. And like he said, it's not just a celebration. Discussions will be happening in a while. Why? You haven't touched your salad yet. Another thing, a main course is coming up. We want to make sure you stay and we have a good time while we discuss. So we're going to take a quick break by introducing a very talented group of individuals. But while I do so, please, tuck in. Your salad is waiting for you. And like I said, the main course is about to be served. So mull over what you just saw and so far what you just heard. From Mr. Po to Mr. Gonzalez to Attorney Kabigting, and yes, the possibilities of showing what it can do, what we can do, what's been done actually in ARTHALAND already, and how you can be involved to push the envelope further. So while we do that, please allow me to introduce the group who will be performing for us right now. They are the performing group of the CCP Kabataang Gitarista program, composed of selected public high school students from the NCR. Founded in 2012 by the Cultural Center of the Philippines Artist Training Division, the program aims to develop skilled young guitarists to promote classical guitar appreciation. Trained by CCP KG alumni turned mentors Christian Mercader and Fernando C. Chanco III under the guidance of program advisor Melissa Corazon V. Mantaring. These young individuals have participated in public and private school concerts, festivals, not just in the Philippines, but all over the world, like the Georgetown Festival in Malaysia in 2016, and taking home some accolades and awards from the Saigon International Guitar Festival and the National Music Competitions for Young Artists known as NAMSIA. Here to perform for us, please welcome CCP's Kabataang Gitarista. Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please do enjoy your main course, but allow me to resume the program. Ladies and gentlemen, to underscore the significance of today's event, we do have someone who will give us a regional perspective. We're deeply honored to host our next speaker from the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, or UNESCAP. She leads ESCAP's program promoting enabling policy environments for inclusive and sustainable businesses. Over 20 years of work experience with the United Nations, providing policy advice on inclusive business, green transition, private sector development, technology, innovation, and digital policies to governments across Asia and Latin America. Everyone, let's lend our ears to Ms. Marta Perez Cuso. Mabuhay! Welcome to Manila.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this warm welcome to Manila. Distinguished guests, I would like to start by saying how impressed I'm by the ARTHALAND team. I'm impressed by your vision of achieving something beyond what's available now. And I'm also impressed by your ability to engage a wide range of stakeholders to work together towards that vision. So I think that ARTHALAND may well soon take the United Nations job. Now, more seriously, we stand in a defining moment in history, and the choices that we make today will determine whether future generations inherit a planet of opportunity or one of scarcity. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time. Consider this, that climate change could reduce the Philippines' GDP by 13% by 2040 if no action is taken. And despite this gloomy context, there are still grounds for optimism. The private sector, like ARTHALAND, is rising to the challenge. Corporations are integrating sustainability into their business practices and scaling innovations to meet the climate challenge. And one such innovation is the Project BEAM that has been launched today. We know that not all business are just profit-driven entities, and that they can be catalysts for change. Companies that integrate sustainability into the core strategy are not only future-proof, they're future leaders. However, also, as we very well know, there is much work that remains to be done if we are to meet the ambitions of the Sustainable Development Goals. Through its Green Growth Project, ESCAP helps business transition toward low-carbon, resource-efficient models. We provide tools, policy guidance, and capacity building to enable enterprises, both large and small ones, to adopt green technologies. And we are proving that green growth is not about slowing down, it's about accelerating progress in a way that respects planetary boundaries. When businesses embrace sustainability, they unlock new growth opportunities while safeguarding our planet. To amplify these efforts, ESCAP convenes its Sustainable Business Network, the ESBN, a dynamic platform where business leaders, policymakers, and innovators come together to share best practices and forge partnerships. This network is a hub for ideas that turn sustainability from aspiration into action. And it's an honor to have ARTHALAND on the Executive Council of the Sustainable Business Network. Your work and commitment in driving the sustainability agenda, not only within your organization, but also driving the broader sector and industry, is commendable. Now, some of you have hinted it already, that sustainability is not only about the environment, it's also about people. And ESCAP champions inclusive business models that integrate low-income communities into value chains, creating jobs, improving livelihoods, and reducing inequality. We know that in the Philippines, inclusive business have already integrated thousands of farmers into supply chains, improving their incomes and building resilience. The future that we want is within reach, but only if we act boldly, like with the BEAM project, and act together. At ESCAP, we stand ready to support this transformation through green growth programs, sustainable business networks, and inclusive business models. We look forward to work more with ARTHALAND in the future and to integrate sustainability into the broader private sector. So let me finish by and ask to build a future where growth is green, prosperity is shared, and development is truly sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Once again, Ms. Marta Perez Cuso from the UN ESCAP. Remember, green growth is not about slowing down, but accelerating progress with the environment and people in mind. Thank you so much. Let's all jump on that invitation to act together, especially from a regional perspective. Again, thanks for being with us today, Ms. Marta Perez Cuso. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to jump into a panel discussion where most minds from government, academe, everyone will be giving their insights on how to act on this Project BEAM opportunity. And here is the moderator for how bamboo transcends a mere building material to becoming a national economic driver. Here is all about proven feasibility of bamboo for construction, its critical role in decarbonizing the built environment, and a pathway for scaling bamboo value chains to strengthen livelihoods across the Philippines. All that will be tackled by this moderator, who is a journalist and writer with a focus on agriculture, sustainability, and culture. The editor-in-chief of Agriculture Magazine, the Philippines' longest-running publication on farming and agribusiness. She also leads the agricultural section of Manila Bulletin, that happens to be our official media partner. A round of applause for Manila Bulletin, please. She contributes as a columnist, blending technical expertise with accessible storytelling. She's moderated and documented events like the Manila Biennale, and also is widely recognized as one of the Philippines' most accomplished contemporary writers. Please welcome the moderator, Yvette Tan. Hi, Yvette.
Hello, thank you, Isa. Good afternoon, everyone. The Philippines stands at a decisive moment in reimagining its built environment, with the built sector contributing up to 40% of global greenhouse gas emissions and local communities experiencing increasing climate-driven vulnerabilities. There is an urgent need to adopt alternative construction solutions that are both decarbonizing and socially inclusive. Bamboo offers a unique opportunity. As a rapidly renewable material that absorbs significant amounts of CO2, bamboo can drastically lower the embodied carbon of construction while creating resilient livelihoods across rural economies. Project BEAM demonstrates this potential by showcasing the country's first commercial-scale bamboo structure, an early model for how nature-based solutions can strengthen climate mitigation, circular construction, and inclusive economic growth. So the theme of today's discussion is bamboo construction for climate action and inclusive livelihoods. This high-level panel explores how bamboo transcends its current perception as a mere building material to become a national economic driver. The discussion will focus on the proven feasibility of bamboo for construction, its critical role in decarbonizing the built environment, and the pathway for scaling the bamboo value chain to strengthen livelihoods across the Philippines. So just a reminder, the live stream of this event is happening now on the Manila Bulletin Environment and Sustainability Facebook page and the Manila Bulletin's main Facebook page. So without further ado, let me introduce the panelists. So please come on stage when I call your name. So first, to give us a developer's perspective, we have Sam Pobre from ARTHALAND. Sam? So, Christina Samantha Sam Pobre is the head of sustainability at ARTHALAND Corporation. A licensed architect with a master's in building, energy, and environmental performance modeling from Cardiff University, Sam holds various professional credentials as a lead AP, a Birdie professional, and an EDGE expert and auditor. With over a decade of experience in sustainable architecture and real estate, Sam leads ARTHALAND's sustainability strategy, advancing low-carbon design, circular construction, and community-centered programs across its residential, commercial, and mixed-use projects. Welcome, Sam. So, for a legislative, social, and economic perspective, we have Congressman Joman Alba. So, Congressman Alba, yes. So Congressman Jose Manuel Joman F. Alba is the representative of the 1st District of Bukidnon. He recognizes the immense potential that bamboo holds for sustainable development and economic growth. With its versatility and ability to address various needs from environmental conservation to poverty alleviation, he sees bamboo as presenting a unique opportunity for the establishment of a circular economy. Congressman Joman is a member of 10 committees in the House of Representatives. He is the current chair of the Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, vice chair of the Committee on Climate Change, and a member of the Committee on Disaster Resilience, to name a few. So welcome, Congressman. Thank you. And to give us a technical and construction perspective, we have Russell Smith of Rhizome Philippines. So Russell Smith is President, CEO, and founder of Rhizome. Rhizome is bringing the regenerative wonders of engineered bamboo to the construction industry. As a construction material, engineered bamboo provides high-performance products that reduce the carbon footprint of new construction. Rhizome cultivates giant bamboo species to help reforest denuded lands and provide livelihood to the communities who supply bamboo into Rhizome's value chain. Naturally beautiful and strong, engineered bamboo provides the world with regenerative sources of sustainable construction materials. Rhizome is helping restore the world's forests and improve the balance of nature through carbon removal and sequestration. So welcome, Russell. Thank you. And last but not least, for an environmental and academic perspective, we have Professor Roniel Manalo from UP Los Baños. Professor Roniel D. Manalo is an assistant professor at the UP Los Baños College of Forestry and Natural Resources, where he leads the Forest Biomaterials Research Laboratory. He teaches courses on forest products, wood chemistry, environmental pollution, and research methods, mentoring future forestry and engineering professionals. A prolific researcher with 30-plus journal publications and over 75 conference presentations, his work spans bio-based composites, linocellulosic material modification, and environmental remediation. He currently leads PCAARRD DOST projects on transparent wood, bamboo valorization, biodegradable plastics, and additive manufacturing. He has earned multiple UPLB professorial chairs and has held key leadership roles with CFNR. So welcome, Professor Roniel. So now that we have everyone, so thank you to our panelists for being with us this afternoon. So I'm sure everybody is excited to hear what they have to say about bamboo construction as a driver for climate action and inclusive livelihood. So let's start with bamboo's proven feasibility and climate benefits. So let's begin with Sam. Yes. So my question. Pardon. Oh, there's a mic here. My apologies, there was a mic there. Oh, all right. Hello?
Ayan,
All right,
better,
so there we
better.
go. So let's begin with Sam. From a developer's standpoint, what does Project BEAM demonstrate about the real-world feasibility of bamboo as a commercial construction material?
So actually for ARTHALAND, we did this pilot project to as an implementation test. So we found out from the Philippines, do we have the experts, the designers and the engineers who can actually help develop the cross-laminated bamboo? Do we have the plants, the bamboo plants in itself here in the country. That is coming from Bukidnon actually. Do we have the manufacturers here in the Philippines to be able to help us do it here locally, and that's why we were able to see meet Russell for that. Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much, Sam. Let's move on to Congressman Alba. So from your legislative perspective, what makes bamboo a compelling option for the Philippines as we pursue climate targets and sustainable development?
Yes, as we all know, and studies have shown that bamboo is actually a cut above the rest, no, in terms of carbon sequestration. If you compare bamboo with ordinary trees, it absorbs 30% more. And if you integrate bamboo with coffee, no, in an agroforestry system, you actually triple the level of carbon sequestration. So that's why it's very important. And for our country, the Philippines, we are a tropical country, no? So, and bamboo is very common to us. No? And at the same time, unlike other countries, no, of course they also grow bamboo in China. But if you compare the quality of bamboo that are grown in the temperate regions versus what we have, no, in the tropical region, ours actually captures more. No? So with what is happening right now, no, with climate change, and as we all know, we are the most, not one, but we are actually the most vulnerable country. That's why I'm actually encouraging my colleagues in Congress, especially those in the Eastern Seaboard, which are actually frequently visited by typhoons, to plant bamboo, no, as a natural eco-defense. No? So I think, no, with bamboo, it's not only the capacity to sequester carbon, but at the same time to provide economic opportunities, no, for our kababayans in the countryside. That's why it's really very important.
Thank you, Congressman. As we can see, it's a win-win for everyone. So next we move on to Russell. Technically speaking, what gives us confidence that bamboo, particularly engineered bamboo, is structurally ready for commercial scale construction?
Good, thank you for asking. Hi everybody, I'm Russell from Rhizome, and today we're talking about engineered bamboo. So if you haven't yet had a chance to see engineered bamboo, please look me up after the panel, and we'll show you that bamboo actually has the strength of steel. It has 3 times the tensile strength as steel, but it's a natural grass made here in the Philippines. So I have an example of, this is a beam that ARTHALAND will use for Project Beam. Much smaller in my hand than it will be in the building, but it gives you an idea of what engineered bamboo means and how it is as strong as steel. And then it also has the compression values like concrete. And in fact, this one here has the compression value 6 times the compressive strength of concrete. But it's a grass made here in the Philippines, engineered by Rhizome, and then implemented by ARTHALAND in their Project Beam building. So it has the strength of steel, toughness of concrete, and its finishes like a beautiful hardwood. And so that gives us the confidence that it'll be a great building material for ARTHALAND and for the Philippine decarbonization efforts in the built environment.
Thank you very much, Russell. So bamboo has the strength of steel, the compression of concrete, and the finish of hardwood. So it's very, very beautiful and strong. And to Professor Roniel, scientifically, what makes bamboo a credible climate solution and nature-based alternative for the built environment?
Thank you very much. We have been talking about carbon sequestration. We compare the carbon sequestration potential of bamboo and timber. Based on a number of studies, the potential is higher for bamboo as opposed to timber. Also, we have bamboo is considered as the fastest growing plant, and it matures approximately 3 to 5 years or even 7 years, as opposed to timber, 25 to 70 years for premium species and 15 to 25 for the industrial tree plantation species. Also, bamboo can produce more oxygen and can hold more water than trees. And if we are to compare the environmental impact of using bamboo as a construction material, we need to go to the life cycle analysis. So the carbon footprint of using bamboo as a construction material is less than that of steel and concrete. We're talking about carbon neutrality, and even the use of bamboo can be a carbon negative material. And aside from this importance of bamboo, take note that bamboo, once cut, can regenerate itself through its root system. So there will be no problem on the reforestation aspect. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Roniel. Now that we've heard about bamboo's proven feasibility and its benefit for the climate, let's discuss its pathways to scale and contribution. So this question is for everyone, and we can go down the line when we answer it. What is the single biggest barrier preventing bamboo from scaling today, and who in this room can help overcome it? Let's start with Sam.
So from the developer perspective, the main issue in terms of scaling this project is market hesitation. Earlier mentioned, or whenever I talk to other people about our bamboo project, we're building a structure that is made of bamboo. People would always doubt, kaya ba niyan ang earthquake? Kamusta yan kapag may typhoon? Or when there is fire, how will it crumble because of fire? So the answer there actually is that there is always a design solution to that. I think Russell would be able to answer more on the technical side. But just like concrete and steel, it started with just mere material. And because of research, we were able to find solutions to actually be able to accommodate all these natural disasters. And by the way, there are already existing technologies. This cross-laminated bamboo is able to hold a certain level of earthquake. It can resist wind. You can see from our model, it's very rigid and structured, just like a regular concrete and steel. The same way with fire, there's always a fire treatment. The same way with steel and concrete. So scalability in market hesitation, there's really that. Groups that would help in terms of educating the public are developers also. We can inform our building occupants of how good, how comparable these type of structures are compared to steel and concrete structures. The same way with our media friends, maybe you can also be our platform of information to educate the general public about bamboo. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Congressman.
Just to add to what Sam said, it's being considered as the poor man's timber. So I think that's one of the hesitation of the general public, no? Because even now, the standard of progress, especially in the rural areas, is if your house is made of cement and steel, if your house is made of bamboo, so I think we need to really educate the general public that actually bamboo is actually the future, right? Now, from where I stand, I think the barrier is actually on certain policies. Based on my experience, when I built our first bamboo pavilion, it took me 6 months to secure the building permit, right? Why? And why is that? Because the building officials, they do not know what to do. Diba? Nobody will sign a building permit if he does not know what will be the impact of his or her signature on a document that you're not sure whether that particular structure will really last. No, so one major barrier is the absence of guidelines or standards in our national building code for bamboo. Right now, of course, you can build structures made of engineered bamboo, but you will have to go through a special process for you to be able to secure the permit. So for us to really mainstream bamboo as a construction material, we need a legislation that will pave the way for the inclusion of bamboo structural code and bamboo architectural code in our national building code. And that's what we are doing in Congress, and hopefully we can approve that tomorrow. The bill, House Bill 187, an act mainstreaming bamboo as a sustainable material for the built environment.
Thank you, Congressman. That's good to know, and I hope it gets approved as well. So, Russell, can we hear from you?
Yeah, thank you very much. I would agree with Congressman Alba around the legislation to get it in the building code, but I really think it's happening right in front of this, my eyes, right here in this room. So I'd like to thank MaxiCare for collaborating with ARTHALAND to set the standard, right? To set the standard to say we're going to bring clean ways of building to our clients, whether it's MaxiCare's patients, ARTHALAND's locators, and at Rhizome, we appreciate the role that you're playing. We've invested our capital, we invested our time, because we know the Philippines has the finest bamboo in the world. We came here intentionally to build buildings with bamboo, and we know together with the legislation support, the developers, the media, academia, but of course with the locators and the risk takers, that we can make bamboo a mainstream building material sooner than we thought. So thank you very much for having us here, and it's a great opportunity.
Thank you very much, Russell. So, Professor?
One of the barriers for the commercialization of this product is the lack of continuing funds for research. And the results of the researches are not properly disseminated and accepted by all sectors. So the funding from the government is usually for 2 to 3 years only. So once the fund we have consumed the funds, the research stops. So there's a valley of debt between research and commercialization. We have worked on the bamboo scrimber, engineered bamboo 10 years ago with the Forest Products Research and Development Institute. But our technology was not commercialized. So the different stakeholders should have convergence. We should put all our mind, and we should work together to make bamboo truly a good material, not just a substitute material, but the main material for construction.
Thank you very much. So as you can see, we have ways to go, but at the same time, it's a very, very exciting opportunity for everyone. So thank you very much to our panelists for your insights on this exciting development in the construction industry. Through Project BEAM, we can see how the circular economy and project-based solutions can work hand in hand to advance both environmental resilience and social well-being. So that's it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Yvette Tan. Please rise for a photo op with our panelists. Everyone, thank you again to the Manila Bulletin for being our media partner and for sponsoring this panel discussion. That's on BEAM, Bamboo Construction for Climate Action and Inclusive Livelihoods. Smile for the camera. And with that, thank you again to our... Not quite yet. Keep smiling. Keep smiling, please. We still have a couple more speeches in a very special ceremonial segment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience, and we hope you are enjoying dessert. But for now, we will leave the stage for a brief discussion from grass to growth, bamboo as an inclusive poverty reduction strategy. We give you the Honorable Congressman of the 1st District of Bukidnon, Congressman Alba. I believe you'll be giving us a speech. So sorry. Hi. We give it back to you. Everybody, a round of applause, please, for Congressman Jose Manuel Alba. Once again, thank you everyone for listening to that panel discussion. We do have a couple more presentations in a ceremonial segment in a bit. But for now, we turn you over to Congressman Alba. Thank you.
Good evening once again. Allow me to share with you what we are doing in the first district of Bukidnon. My sharing actually captures the idea of using bamboo as a anti-poverty or a poverty reduction strategy in the countryside. So, as we all know, poverty is our biggest concern in the countryside. And as a legislator, my job is not only to legislate laws in the halls of Congress, but also to find ways to address poverty in our district. So I saw the potential of bamboo because anywhere you go, there's always bamboo, right? So whether in the upland or in the lowland, whether in the coastal areas or in the mountainous areas, there will always be bamboo. The question is, what can we do with this particular resource? So poverty is, as we all know, this is a major problem in our country. So whether in the urban centers or in rural areas, this is really a problem. So this is actually my, as always, no, this is actually my motivating quote, no, that we shouldn't accept poverty as a normal thing. No, it's our job and our responsibility to address poverty because poverty dehumanizes. So, to reduce poverty, there are two important things that we need to do. Number one, we need to ensure that our people are financially educated. No, I mean, financial literacy and financial education. And yes, financial education is really very important. Even if you are an engineer or a lawyer or a businessman, if you don't know how to manage your finances, you will still be in trouble. So, in the countryside, aside from providing livelihood opportunity, it's also my advocacy to promote financial education or financial literacy. So in the first district, we have this program called Bamboo Economic Enterprise Program to provide livelihood, transition our local furniture makers, no, from wood-based furniture making to bamboo, no. Kasi I really believe that for as long as our furniture makers continue to use wood, it only means one thing: the cutting of trees will continue. So in order to prevent the cutting of trees, we need to find a suitable alternative to wood, and that is bamboo. Bukidnon has 18,000 hectares of bamboo. During my first term, in partnership with the Department of Science and Technology and CMU, we were able to map out the entire province, no, in terms of our potential, no, using the satellite, the satellite Sentinel. We're able to map out the entire province, no, in terms of our potential for bamboo. And Rhizome said this: we should all be proud that our bamboo is considered the best variety of giant bamboo in Southeast Asia. Right, Russell? So right now, we have several development partners in Bukidnon. These are primary processors, and they Most of them supply to Rhizome. The slots, I mean. And in terms of innovation, product development, we also have here Base Bahay, our good friend Luis. By the way, a round of applause for Luis for coming up with the structural, bamboo structural guidelines. No? They released it a few months ago. Now, structural engineers, architects can use their material in partnership with ASEP, right? And for Bukidnon, we are very lucky that ADB supported our advocacy on bamboo. Right now, there's an ongoing geotagging of geotagging of our bamboo clumps, because right now we have a program which program called Farmer 360, which will include all our bamboo clumps in a blockchain. No? So this is funded by the Asian Development Bank through BanQ, which is actually the blockchain platform. And we are also in the process of tokenization of the bamboo clumps and all the transactions. No? So the idea is to make everyone in the value chain visible. Because right now, when you buy something, for example, you go to Starbucks and you buy coffee, you only know Starbucks, right? But you do not have any idea, no, as far as the farmer who planted that coffee, who are the people who process that coffee, no? So with blockchain, everybody becomes visible. The farmer, the club, the processor, the one who delivered the bamboo slots to Rhizome. Rhizome is there, including the final seller of the bamboo product. So Inbar is also Inbar also partnered with us. That's why we were given the opportunity to share our program in COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, because they see the potential of bamboo as a poverty reduction strategy. So last year, but we also were recognized by Guinness Book of World Record for having been for the most people planting bamboo simultaneously. So around 4,000. But the recognized number is only around 2,305 across Mindanao. So, what are the opportunities with bamboo? No? So, why are we so bambooholic about bamboo? For us in Bukidnon, we say bambuang, no? Because we really see the potential and the opportunity that we can really address poverty just by promoting bamboo, no? From planting materials to the end product, no, there's so much potential. Our bamboo in Bukidnon, umaabot yan ng 10, 11 inches ang diameter. So para na siyang coconut. So the idea is to promote an economic enterprise at the backyard level. No? So para yung mga produkto na lalabas sa barangay of higher value. So we produce tables, anything you can imagine with wood, we can actually do it with bamboo. That particular table on the side, one hotel operator approached me and he asked, can you give us 1,500 units of this? And since we have very limited furniture maker. I said no, maybe next year. So these products are all backyard level production. These are wastes. You can use bamboo as substitute for GI pipe, for solar lamp posts, and all the rests can be converted to bamboo charcoal briquette. As I have said, these are specialized items produced by our people in the barangay. Skateboard, ukulele, guitar, even ice cream, and cake, bamboo cake. And of course, for our courts, no, gavel and duck. And from rhizome. And of course, for structures, a reading hub in Bukidnon, a government facility. So these are actually opportunities that we can explore. Of course, ARTHALAND is actually for the structural, but more than the opportunity in the construction industry, bamboo can actually change our communities, can provide more opportunities for our people. And I sincerely and honestly believe that can actually address poverty in the countryside. So once again, thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very, very much for that again, Congressman Alva. And here's to fighting poverty while looking for opportunity. Definitely always have our countrymen in mind. Now, let's take a look about the vital connection. I heard this a lot during the panel discussion. We have quite the resources. We have the research. But who is using it? Who's taking advantage of it? Who's actually promoting it? So why don't we talk about this vital connection between research and implementation? Here to talk about that is from the Department of Science and Technology, the Director of the Department of Science and Technology's Forest Products Research and Development Institute. He's a leading expert in bamboo technology. A UP Los Baños graduate, he later earned his PhD in Resource Management and Environmental Science from the Australian National University. He is the first Filipino to receive the ISO Excellence Award for his leadership in developing international bamboo standards. Can we give that a round of applause, please? He's been instrumental in creating the first Philippine national standard for bamboo, has earned numerous national and international recognitions, including the 2024 University of the Philippines Los Baños College Distinguished Alumni Award for Institutional Service. He currently chairs the BPS Technical Committee on Bamboo and Rattan, helping shape national and global forestry standards. Everyone, let's listen to Dr. Rico J. Cabangon. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Thank you for that kind introduction. I'm honored to join you today to the launch of ARTHALAND's BEAM project. Congratulations, ARTHALAND, for this milestone. Again, a round of applause. Your efforts to promote sustainability are definitely not in vain. This initiative should be commended, as all of us have to be conscious on how we can provide sustainable technologies that would deliver significant impacts to the needs of our countrymen, specifically to provide shelter while creating livelihood, employment, and other economic activities through the use of sustainable raw materials and processes for the present and future generations. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology and our Secretary, Dr. Renato U. Siludum Jr., isang makaagham at makakalikasang araw sa ating lahat. I believe that ARTHALAND's goal in this launch is not just to merely present what they have achieved, but more importantly, to reach a wider audience, those that they believe would have an impact on sustainability. We, in DOST, share this vision with you. We envision the Philippines as a country rooted in sustainability and grounded on science. We all know that bamboo is one of the country's most important renewable material. It grows rapidly, captures carbon dioxide efficiently, and provides livelihood opportunities across rural and urban communities. But more importantly, when engineered through science and technology, it becomes a reliable and climate-adaptive construction material, one that can help prepare our communities for the increasing challenges of disasters and environmental change. Bamboo also has the potential to compete with modern construction materials since its strength has been proven for decades already. And it is factual that the tensile strength of bamboo is comparable to that of steel, and the compression strength comparable also with concrete. We can attest to that. We have tested Rhizome's engineered bamboo, and it is actually comparable to steel and concrete. At DOST-FPRDI, we have numerous initiatives on bamboo since the 1950s. From basic R&D to its application for various products and technologies, including its use for the construction sector. Our most recent key innovation for shelter is the bamboo octagonal jointing system. We have developed a system for connecting bamboo poles at different directions, making it sturdier and safer, especially in disaster-prone areas. The joint can withstand a load of about 1.7 tons, or about the weight of a small SUV. I believe that having innovations like this presents bamboo at the forefront of sustainability. It shows how bamboo balances innovation and creativity. To put this in practice, we constructed a functional bamboo weighting shed built using the said system and accessorized with a solar panel for lighting and charging ports for commuters and the general public. The shed was turned over to the Loag City LGU last November 19 during the 2025 National Science and Technology Week. More than just a shelter, it serves as a living example of science-driven public infrastructure. Beyond technologies, the DOST continues to expand its support for R&D and capacity building. For example, we have the Science for Change program, or S4CP, that is composed of 4 thematic areas. First, the Niche Center in the Regions for R&D Program, or NICER, helps address unequal access of R&D funding by providing grants to qualified regional higher education institutions. These projects must be unique and collaborative and endorsed by the Regional Development Council to ensure that they create meaningful socioeconomic impact in their communities. And bamboo can be one of the technologies that we can propose to the DOST for funding. Number 2, R&D Leadership Program, or RD Lead, aims to help develop and strengthen further the research capabilities of the academe, R&D institutions, and other line government agencies, and local S&T experts are engaged to train them, direct and support their R&D needs of the academe, RDIs, and line agencies. Collaborative R&D, number 3, to leverage Philippine economy, or CRADLE, for RDIs and industry program, intends to enable technological advancement and innovation of local companies and to support the growth of the Philippine innovation ecosystem. The academe, or the RDI, in partnership with a Filipino company, undertakes R&D to improve the company's products, process, and services to become more competitive in their respective industries. And lastly, the Business Innovation through S&T or BIST for Industry Program intends to provide financial assistance to Filipino private companies for the acquisition of strategic and relevant technologies so they can undertake R&D, the purchase of high-tech equipment, or to secure technology licensing and or patent rights will be refunded to DOST at 0% interest. In terms of standardization of bamboo and bamboo-related products, we are active as chair and members of the Bureau of Philippine Standards Technical Committee and the International Organization for Standardization on Bamboo and Rattan, where we work closely with the academe, industry, other government agencies, and relevant stakeholders to develop standards for both bamboo and rattan. Our institution has been also active in putting forward the inclusion of bamboo as part of the structural code of the Philippines in partnership with the Association of Structural Engineers of the Philippines and, of course, Base Bahay, represented by Mr. Engineer Luis here. We have also been supporting the bills related to bamboo at the Senate and the House of Representatives. And actually tomorrow, we have a hearing on bamboo for built environment sponsored by Congressman Alba. I invite everyone to be active in these policy developments to enhance the bamboo industry in the country. This is also my opportunity to share that DOST FPRDI can assist in conducting various tests on bamboo, which include physical, mechanical, durability, and even fire resistance tests, as well as training services, and our technology business incubation program, wherein we can help startups in the early stages of developing their business. Let us work together to share our technologies to the people. This brings me to the significance of ARTHALAND's BEAM project. By committing to explore bamboo as a key material, ARTHALAND is demonstrating leadership, showing that sustainability is not just an environmental choice, but a responsibility. Your actions amplify our mission to translate scientific innovation into real-world applications. We can be partners in contributing to the development of sustainable, eco-friendly, and high-value products that will strengthen the local bamboo industries and promote inclusive and competitive bamboo industry. If there is one thing I would like to remember today, please know that bamboo is more than just a construction material. It is a symbol of resilience, innovation, and Filipino ingenuity. With strong cooperation from DOST, other government agencies, the private sector, and other organizations or associations, and with partnering with pioneers like ARTHALAND, we are building a shared environment that is safe and future-ready. Our Secretary, Dr. Renato Sulidum, advocates that science should be felt by the people. And this event, as well as our future collaborations and initiatives, would be a testament to that of the Secretary's trust na ang agham ay dapat ramdam. Through convergence, let us work together to provide solutions and opportunities for our countrymen. On behalf of our Department of Science and Technology and the Forest Products Research and Development, I extend my warmest congratulations to ARTHALAND on the launch of the BEAM project. Maraming salamat po at muli, isang makaagham at makakalikasang araw sa ating lahat.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Cabangon, for that very insightful speech. And again, ang agham ay dapat ramdam. And as we move nearer to one very, very special moment in this segment, in the program today, I'd like to call your attention to the panels that are actually on display in our event area. How many of you took the time to read on our wonderful panels over here and over there? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm found here to your right side. I got a spotlight on me. If I would, please allow me to highlight these panel displays that illustrate ARTHALAND's sustainability journey. First, they have a pledge to achieve net zero operational emissions by 2030, highlighting progress in energy and water efficiency. Not to forget renewable energy integration and greenhouse gas reduction. They also have a commitment to sustainability for all, demonstrating how the UN Sustainable Development Goals actually guide every stage of their developments. The pursuit of harmony, after all. They do not forget the importance of people and planet. In fact, that is exactly what sustainability is for them. And they do this through circular and regenerative design. Finally, what we're here for today, Project Beam's bamboo innovation, showcasing its environmental, social, and economic benefits. Everything is actually nicely displayed. There's some QR codes also on the panels. So while you're still here at the end of the program, come take a look closer and see the highlights of ARTHALAND's journey. Truly something to be very, very proud of, and an invitation for you to be very much part of. Together, these displays provide a very clear snapshot of the vision, discipline, and measurable impact behind today's event. Every single speaker we heard from today doesn't just say it's possible. They are saying it's already happening. And we just need you to help make it bigger, scalable, and let more people get on this ride. Is that absolutely clear? Thank you, and we appreciate your support indeed. So with that said, I now go and proceed to some very, very special segment, that ceremonial segment that I was talking about earlier or hinting at. Ladies and gentlemen, this symbolizes not only Project Beam's progress, but the shared commitment that drives it forward. Today, we are in this together. Project Beam stands for Building with Intention, future-ready developments rooted in responsibility, innovation, and collective purpose. And this ceremonial activity brings these very values to life. On stage, I don't know if you can see it already because the spotlight's on me, we have specially crafted bamboo hut lamps. So that's a bamboo hut over there in the form of a lamp. Each created with intention and obviously a very symbol. Bamboo representing strength, resilience, sustainability, grounded in our heritage, fully aligned, of course, with tomorrow's needs. And what is the hut? Our bahay kubo reminds us that true progress thrives when communities come together towards a shared goal. And so now may I invite our leaders to please come together and take their places on stage, beginning with the Executive Vice President Cornelio S. Mapa, please, with Chief Sustainability Officer of ARTHALAND, Oliver L. Chan. Joining them is the Head of Sustainability, Architect Cristina Samantha Pobre. And our valued guests of honor, 1st District of Bukidnon, Congressman Jose Manuel Alba. Kong Alba, please join us. The National Executive VP-elect of the United Architects of the Philippines, Architect Coria E. Ponce. Architect Coria? Choria E. Ponce. And of course, our valued partner for today, Manila Bulletin's Sales Director, Ms. Irish Lorenzo. May you please take your places in between our specially crafted bahay kubo lamps. And you might want to take this photo. Yes, get your cameras ready. It is definitely a photo opportunity. As our leaders and partners take their places, we expose the lamps. I actually ask you to All right, here we go. The moment's ready. These leaders represent a strong and diverse coalition, government, private sector, sustainability experts, international partners, and yes, publications as well. Here is to lasting change that can be achieved through shared responsibility, partnerships, and action. Ladies and gentlemen, we witness the lighting of the future. The lamps are now illuminated. May they symbolize symbolize our unified commitment to innovation, sustainability, and shared future of the Philippines. May this light guide Project Beam and continue to inspire green, inclusive, and future-ready developments across the country. Let's give that a round of applause, please. And now, may we ask everyone to smile for the cameras? Just stay where you are. Let's expose those. There's a Bahay Kubo lamps. And then may I ask you to please step towards the center. Everybody, you can now squeeze in together. But we're still going to expose the lamps in the back. Kong, thank you. Everybody, please smile for the cameras. By the way, I hope you noticed that there are cocktails being passed around. That is for you. We have a toast shortly. But for now, to our leaders, thank you for joining us in this ceremonial activity. For now, allow me to introduce for the closing remarks a very special person who has been truly involved since the very beginning. Passionate about creating meaningful and sustainable experiences through design, she is the principal architect of DECA Design Collaborative. She leads a dynamic team focused on creative innovation, adaptive collaboration, and a strategic problem-solving approach using their well-living design philosophy. She joined ARTHALAND Corporation in 2023 as an independent director, further demonstrating her commitment to shaping impactful spaces and sustainable organizations. Here to give us the closing remarks, we give you architect Denise De Castro.
Wow, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, guests, partners, and the ARTHALAND team, you've done a fantastic job today. So, thank you. And it's amazing to see everyone in this room and talk about bamboo sustainability in a venue we don't usually have. So I think this is some place that we can start talking and gathering and really sharing ideas more between government, academe, the private sector, and designers like myself. So when I joined ARTHALAND as an independent director in 2023, I really saw my role as a clear signal. So as proof of this company's commitment to valuing diverse perspectives and building an inclusive leadership culture. So it also reflects a really deep alignment with my own professional values and ones that we hold at DECA, my design firm. So we share the belief that design, excellence, and sustainability must really work together to create impact for the built environment. So it is the shared commitment rooted in inclusivity, innovation, and responsibility that led to Project Beam. So this project embodies ARTHALAND's values. It demonstrates that we are willing to look beyond conventional means and adopt diverse nature-based solutions to address the climate crisis. So today, we did more than unveil a structure. We really unveiled a new possibility for the Philippines. Throughout the messages given by all the speakers today and the panel discussion that we previously had, we are confronting an urgent truth. The built environment must address embodied carbon head-on. So the way that we build today will determine the kind of world that we leave behind for future generations. We learned that bamboo is not just an alternative material, it is an effective climate strategy, not in theory, but in practice that we are seeing today. It absorbs carbon, regenerates landscapes, and it offers design flexibility suited for the future. So beyond the environmental promise, bamboo can drive inclusive economic growth. And we're seeing that in Congressman Alba's district. It's uplifting farmers, strengthening rural supply chains, and anchoring new industries in the provinces, and again, to lift us all up from poverty. So the panel underscore the strength of this ecosystem. So we have developers like ARTHALAND ready to adopt low-carbon materials, the DNR championing nature-based solutions to address our national climate commitments, DOST emphasizing that research, testing, and standards are essential in scaling breakthroughs like engineered bamboo. And we also have lawmakers promoting bamboo in their districts and LGUs, and academe incorporating bamboo and sustainability in their curriculum. So all of these perspectives talk about one truth. Bamboo is a national opportunity that we can and will unlock. But unlocking it requires education, innovation, and partnership. When we connect knowledge with circular design and blend research with real-world applications, we can create more than just structure. We can create livelihood, climate solutions, and hope, which our country so badly needs. So Project BEAM is the beginning of a much bigger journey. And if a 600 square meter structure can spark this level of inspiration and conversation, imagine the impact an entire industry can make, transforming our built environment and uplifting communities across the country. So as we close today's incredible conversations and event here, I really invite each of you to stay engaged. Support the research that the government is doing. Empower local producers. Champion circular construction. Advocate for policies that enable sustainable materials to thrive. And choose to build differently. Because every project, and this is most important, especially in the work that I do, is an opportunity to shape a better future for the next generation. And obviously keep the conversation going. So together, let us build a Philippines defined by homegrown innovation, uplifted communities, and sustainability as a daily reality and not just an aspiration. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. And please raise your glasses. Here's to Project BEAM, to ARTHALAND, and to improving our country's built environment together. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone! Thank you very much, and cheers as well to Architect Denise De Castro. Thank you indeed. And with that, the formal program for Life Built for Tomorrow comes to a close. But wait, you still have snacks? We really want you to stay. Isn't that quite obvious? So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your day with the afternoon snacks. Keep the conversation going. I think that is really the most important part so that we can keep going together. From highlighting today's Project BEAM, ARTHALAND's commitment as Asia's first net zero carbon signatory, to emphasizing the vital roles of policy, technology, and community in driving sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make sustainable future a reality. And really, it's happening right now. Join the drive, join the ride. For now, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. My name is Isa Leton. Let's welcome back the talented CCP Kabataang Gitarista for their final performance. This has been Life Built for Tomorrow by ARTHALAND.